Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 14 of my 1.5 versus 6 Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing against a team of 6 Emperor AI, although I did begin the game with an AI teammate on Lord difficulty. In this series, I'm playing as the Goblin Rogue, Gnulsa Nightstar. In our last episode, we began to position our units to take advantage, or I guess to capitalize on or clean up, however you want to say it, the unfortunate situation that we now find ourselves in, which is that our teammate Larissa has been killed. So we're moving our stack here with Volinara in to try to take over the throne city, or I guess former throne city of Larissa. And then we're also moving our hero Beniefs and her stack over to basically try and grab this city. And we're going to, then maybe head underground and see if we can start the fight with Alarmian, or at least kind of defend ourselves and set up a bit of a perimeter. Maybe we could capture this watchtower and keep our eyes on the underground here so we kind of know if he's going to pop up or not. In any case, though, I suspect we're probably going to, keep taking those baby steps towards kind of all-out war with my opponents here. But before we dive into the episode, let's go over the comments here from the previous episode, because there were a number of fantastic comments left. The first of those comments is from Albtrom. Albtrom had a comment here. I made some kind of, I guess, less than optimal decisions in some of the battles in the previous episode. Check out Albtrom's comment for kind of a full breakdown. But just to summarize here, there was a situation where I was using my gold wyverns, and I actually didn't capitalize, or my gold wyvern. And there was actually a situation where I didn't really capitalize on something that I could have, and I'll just kind of pan over to find it. Now, where is my... Yeah, so it's in Nero's stack here. So important to note, we now have this gold wyvern that's very, very strong, and at gold medal, we get Inflict Daze, and this is what I didn't take advantage of. So Inflict Daze, melee and ranged attacks can cause the target to be dazed. Dazed units cannot perform actions other than move and guard for 2 turns. So it basically renders them unable to attack me or retaliate against me in any way. So this is actually a super powerful ability, and I didn't really use it to its full extent in the battle with that previously, where I was using Nero in the last episode. So good point there from Albtron, just to remember that. And then there were a few other little decisions that I made where, for example, I didn't heal at the start of a battle when I could have, or just kind of not using my abilities at the most optimal times. So again, I always appreciate the breakdowns of sort of my combat decisions. So thank you to Albtron for that. The next comment here is from Insert Username. Insert pointed out that I actually might have been able to save the digger. We'll just head underground here real quick. So I had a situation where unfortunately it's not here. It's down near Bebjun, I think. Yeah, so I had this unfortunate situation where I believe there's a set of spiders up here, and I tried to kind of run with my digger, but, I guess actually the turn is flipped over and the digger has survived. So that wasn't really an issue. But what Insert was pointing out is that if I had been able to get my digger to the water, I would have been able to save him. And the reason for that is because the roaming units, if they... Oh, yeah, here. So it's these spiders. They would not be able to embark. So if we take a look, yeah, they don't have swimming or any ability to embark. So... I would have been safe in the water if I'd have made this unit get into the water. So just a good reminder there that, if a roaming unit isn't floating or flying, there's often ways to avoid them. Insert also pointed out that Shadow Stalkers can actually be a nice pair with Galleons if need be. And this is actually something I hadn't really considered doing, but it's a great idea because, of course, Shadow Stalkers are floating units, so they can move freely over the water, and they could pair up with Galleons and provide sort of a bit of a melee escort for the Galleons, which would actually, I think, be kind of useful. So if I need to, or if a situation arises where that's, going to be a viable choice for me, that's something I'll keep in my back pocket. So great suggestion there from Insert. And then finally, Insert suggested that, or I guess pointed out, is more accurate to say, pointed out that when we jump to our fort here, let's just see if I can find it. So I built a fort... Here, okay. And I was wondering last episode if it matters which race the builder was that built the fort. And Insert is pointing out that it doesn't matter. I should be able to take a settler from any race and settle on top of the city, or on top of the fort, excuse me, and get the full benefit of the wall already built in. So that's great to know, because that means, again, my instinct was probably to do a halfling city over here, but we'll have to kind of think about it a little more, and we'll have to make sure we do a full survey of what we've got here. So we've got a dungeon, which of course would give us slaughter pits that would benefit infantry. But, at this point, I think we're probably going to just be kind of focusing on Shadow Stalker and Succubi production. So really, in a way, it doesn't matter so much for unit production, but we might be able to optimize for some of our kind of racial benefits. So we'll think about that, but it's nice to know that the race of who builds the fort doesn't really determine who's going to then settle the city. A comment here from Samuel Gomes. Samuel just pointed out that I need to make sure I'm careful with Nero, because although Nero now has Inflict Ghoul Curse, and I did get him Shadow Step as well, he is still kind of fragile. He's only got 50 health. He's got decent defense and resistance, which you can see right here, thanks to some of his gear, but, he's still not, a super tanky fighter or anything like that. So obviously I need to make sure that I'm making good decisions with him, and that I'm keeping in mind that I have Shadow Step to get out of trouble if need be. Now, a way to offset this would potentially be to get Lifesteal with Nero, but I'm also, really hoping that if I can get to level 11, I will be able to give him Undying, and then I will really not have to worry so much. So thank you to Samuel just for kind of reminding me to make sure I don't, do anything stupid with Nero. Finally, here, a comment from Andre Gavril. Andre started kind of a discussion. I chimed in, and I think so did Albtrom. We had a little discussion regarding Ghoul Curse and what sort of benefits or what makes it more likely that Inflict Ghoul Curse is going to work. So I think it's worth going over. I know I've talked about it before, but I think it is worth actually discussing just briefly here. So if we look at Inflict Ghoul Curse, you can see here that it's got an 11 spirit check. It's kind of hard to see, but that's a little spirit check symbol. So what that effectively means is that it is a spirit-based curse or spirit-based affliction, meaning that if a unit is more resistant to spirit, they're going to be more resistant to Ghoul Curse. And if they're less resistant or they're weak to spirit, they're going to be more susceptible. So effectively, there's going to be two main ways that I'm going to improve my odds of landing a Ghoul Curse successfully: to reduce the resistance of a unit that I'm attempting to curse, and also to reduce the spirit protection, or to, another way to say that would be to impart spirit weakness. So those are going to be the two ways that I can make Ghoul Curse more likely to land. So the two ways I was thinking offhand are going to be Inflict Despair, which so Inflict Despair, which if it lands, they have a 20% spirit weakness, so that's one way to hedge that in my favor. And the other way would be to Inflict Curse, which is going to also decrease resistance, or apply something like Weakening from a Goblin Blight Doctor. But as always, thank you for the excellent comments. Big thank you to everybody. Lots of useful information and good things to kind of remind myself and to think about going forward. So let's dive into the episode. I'm just kind of itching to get into the action here. So let's see. We were, again, smack in the middle of our turn last time. I think we had used Nero up kind of at the end of the last episode, if I remember correctly. So now let's jump over and see if our other stacks have moved. All right, so yeah, Gnulsa is ready to go. So we were thinking about maybe sending Gnulsa underground, and I think, oh no, we haven't done any exploring. So, you know what? Again, generally you don't want to go exploring with your hero stacks. You want to send a scout down first. So you know what? This might actually be a good situation to summon a Grimbeak Crow right next to, send it underground to do some scouting for me, and decide, oh, and look at this. Okay, so we've got ourselves a city. Ooh, and a lost library. I think this might actually be pretty good to send Gnulsa down here. Now, let's see. They want to make peace with us for 118 gold. You know what? Sure, why not? Let's do it. And then what I'll do is I'll send my scout up just to kind of see what else we've got in this area. Ooh, we could get some racial governance experience here. There's a dungeon to raid. That would be interesting. Okay. Ooh, and we got some roaming units. Unfortunately, our scout's probably toast. Let's go back up to the surface. So yeah, I think that's going to be worth sending Gnulsa down there. Originally, I was thinking it might be better to send Gnulsa over to this unexplored area over here, but And we do have ourselves something to contact. Let's see. Okay, it is a dwarven city. We will negotiate. They want open borders and a peace treaty. I am happy to accept. Let me know when you're ready to talk. And you know what? We can keep exploring around in here and see what we can find. So I think either way is going to be a good choice. If we send Gnulsa over here, that's not so bad. Lots of good structures to raid. We've got an Ancient Ruin, a Raven's Keep, obviously some other miscellaneous structures. We could grab this Watchtower for some extra vision range. And we could also head underground. And you know what? I think underground is going to be where we're going to head for now. Ooh, and you know what? We could do the Lost Library right now. And you know what? Maybe what we'll do while we're kind of thinking about it, we could switch over Dark Pact and switch it over to something else that we could free up, hopefully. And that way, if we get some knowledge from there, it might actually be enough to finish off one of these other things. The other reason we want to do that is because there's a chance, albeit a very low one, that if Dark Pact isn't our active research, it'll be what gets finished. Although, again, I really don't expect that to happen. Usually it'll be one of the lower level ones first, but you never know. So maybe we'll do that. Let's switch over to Scout Training. And then you can see we could always switch back. Yeah, and we've still got it kind of partway done, so that's good. So now let's go down and raid the Lost Library here. Shouldn't be too difficult. One thing I am going to attempt to do in this battle, though, is to see if I can grab this Tigran Reanimator. I believe Gnulsa has Control Undead. Let me double check that. Yeah, we do, right here. Control Undead. So what we're going to do with Gnulsa is we're going to see if we can, again, grab that Undead. I think we'll buff our Big Beetle here. And then with Gnulsa, you know what, let's fly over here. We'll buff our Ogre a little bit, just because I anticipate our Ogre kind of getting involved in the action a little bit. You know what, we're going to Firebomb like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to charge in and try to kill the Apprentice. Very nice. And then I would like to use the Blight Doctor to throw Weaken on the Reanimator. That's kind of my goal here. So, yeah, let's see. We could probably step up and get the kill. Very nice. And then now, let's see. Can we throw a Weaken on there? Yes, we can. Now, that's going to make it just a little bit easier to potentially control Undead on them. Ooh, taking some punishment, but nothing we can't handle. Okay. Now, ooh, and we're not quite able to... You know what? We could sprint and get in there and then do our Control Undead. So, we'll head over like this. We'll throw up Sprint. And then let's see, what are our odds? 45. You know what? That's not horrendous. Let's try it. Oh, and it didn't work. That's okay, though. Again, always worth giving it a shot. Because you never know. It might work. We'll attack the White Witch for some damage. We will step up our Blight Doctor and turn the Reanimator around a little bit. Get the kill there, and then get the kill there. So yeah, shame we couldn't get the Reanimator, but that's all right. Oh, and look at that. We finished Urban Cover. All right, well, we can switch on back to Dark Pact. So now we have Urban Cover done. Actually, you know what? I didn't even look at what my next option was. Cruel Backstab. The special training received by assassins is now also given to irregular and infantry units, enabling them to backstab. Units with backstab deal +6 damage, physical damage, when performing flanking melee attacks. You know, that wouldn't be so bad, as that would improve my irregular and infantry units. Although, again, I suspect that since I'm going to be using primarily Shadow Stalkers going forward, that won't be, you know, extremely useful, but it's definitely not a bad choice. Maybe something I could try and, you know, accomplish here in the next few turns. Maybe we'll have another situation where we can get some knowledge reward. Beb Jun, you know what? I want to make some more units so we can continue to kind of defend, but might actually be better to do a Rogue's Palace at this point, and that would give me... You know what? Something else we could do on this one is throw an iron grip on the city and improve our happiness. That would improve our production output just a little bit, which might actually make a big difference there. So you know what? Let's do... Decisions. Let's do a Swarm Darter here. Actually, you know what? Never mind. We can do one of these in one turn. Let's do another Half-Breed. There we go. The other one is going to take 2 turns, so... Okay, Ancina Res now. Let's see. We now have ourselves a Wraith King along with our Necromancer, so I think we're strong enough to at least kind of start venturing out. I don't want to do anything crazy with that stack just yet, but I think what we'll do is we'll make perhaps a Revenant Cavalry and add that into the stack. But for now, we're going to actually send our hero off to start putting some work in over here. And we're going to go to our vassal city up here and see what kind of mischief we can get up to. Alternatively, we could hang out around here and clear out some of these structures, but I think it might be better to actually head over this way. At least that way we're kind of near our vassal, so... and then, yeah, we're just going to keep making units here, and we'll send them on to join in with our Necromancer eventually. Let's see now. We have some other units, I believe, that still need to do some fighting, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I think we have Beniefs, although, again, we might have used her up. Yeah, we have Volinara. Okay, Volinara can still do some work here. So, let's send Volinara in. Now, the big issue with Volinara here is we're going to have to fight this Bone Dragon, the Carrion Bird, and the Lost Soul, which is going to be quite the challenge. And unfortunately, we are not yet at level 7, so we're not going to be able to use Greater Reanimate Undead to snag this Bone Dragon, which would be amazing, but yeah, not able to. I suppose it's not so bad because the Bone Dragon is dedicated to evil, which wouldn't really work out so well for us. So we will use our Tigran to engage the battle here. All right, so now we have to decide how do we want to handle this one. It would be nice if we had a Cadaver. Unfortunately, we do not. But what we do have is the Brew Brother. So what I'm going to do is move the Firstborn up, buff the heck out of them with that. So now we've got a ton of health on the Firstborn, and I think the Firstborn is going to be sort of the damage sink here for this battle. We'll move our Chariot over, kind of spread our units out as best we can. We'll see kind of what happens here. All right, so they're not going to bite just yet. So what we'll do is we'll actually move our Firstborn over and see if we can get over the wall. Meanwhile, our Guardian can kind of move over here. Again, we got to be careful because, of course, the dragon is likely to use its breath attack on us. So we want to watch out for that. Probably keep our Brew Brother back, and I think we'll keep our Necromancer kind of in reserve, although we have to remember that Volinara... Ooh, ouch. Volinara does have Resurgence, which is going to be helpful. So we'll get our Firstborn up on the wall, and thankfully, they are now out of range to be able to move in and tie me up on the wall, which is excellent. So we're going to retreat our Longswordsman back as he took some unpleasant punishment there, as you saw. All right, let's see what happens here. Okay, yeah, moving over to try and deal with my Firstborn, who is... We're going to put the Firstborn right here and just force the unit to come kind of 1v1. And we'll move our Guardian in as well, because we want our Guardian involved. Volinara, on the other hand, can step up and perhaps start doing a little bit of damage here to the Lost Soul. Meanwhile, the Chariot can go attack the gate, I suppose. Again, I don't really want my Brew Brothers getting too involved, but... Oh, and there's that Gas Breath. I suppose I should have seen that one coming. The Firstborn here can just kill off the Carrion Bird. Excellent. Chariot can blast the stone gate here. Excellent. All right, we have another way in. That's great for us. Our Naga Guardian, I think what we'll do... this is kind of a tricky situation. We're going to retreat back with our Brew Brother because obviously we don't want to end up in a really unfortunate situation. And then what we're going to do is we're going to leave our Guardian here to just guard our hero. We don't want our Brew Brothers getting killed, so we're going to move them back. Our Long Swordsman can also retreat back. And now we have a Cadaver, which we can try and take advantage of here, so... Okay, ooh, going after my Tigrans. I actually didn't really expect that, although maybe I should have. Ooh, yeah, that Tigran Chariot's pretty much screwed now. That's not good. Alright, we'll use our Cadavers over there. I mean, I suppose we could try to run away, but, you know, we're not gonna... That's not gonna end well for us. Yeah, that's actually quite a reasonable... or a fairly substantial mistake on my part. Unfortunate. I guess we'll just hang out in defense mode. I mean, it's pretty much inevitable that we're going to lose the unit, but... Yeah, that's a bummer. Oh, okay, well, you know what? I spoke too soon. I thought we were going to lose the unit, but thankfully the Bone Dragon decided to not make the most intelligent decision. But hey, I'm not going to complain. So now we have to decide how can we capitalize on this situation. So I think what we'll do is we'll throw the spear, and then that's going to allow us to get a nice flank shot in here. Of course, we have to remember that Fearsome is going to be in play. Now our Cadaver can kill the Lost Soul, and our Firstborn can start moving over. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, and we resisted the Fearsome, thank goodness. And then what we're going to do is we're going to build up a charge with the Chariot and step in. I don't think we're going to have enough for the kill, to be perfectly honest. Hang on, how much could our Brew Brother do here? I don't think a ton. Also have to be careful moving them in because, of course, that's going to put them in a tremendous amount of risk. Oh, you know, we do pretty good damage with our shock bolts there. All right, okay, let's... Oh, I'm going to regret this because I just don't think we have enough damage to really... Okay, there's that. And then we can do some pretty good damage here, but we're not going to do enough to get the kill, unfortunately, which is a shame. And again, unfortunately, I don't have any way of inflicting any extra damage with spells. So I suspect that my Chariot's probably going to die. Oh, thank goodness it survived. Okay. That's excellent. So it was able to get the kill with the retaliation attack there. So, okay, fantastic. That worked out quite well for us. We were able to win the battle there. And what we're going to do is we are going to... This is a human town. We're going to absorb it. Hopefully we'll get to take advantage of some of the upgrades that Larissa hopefully produced. Okay, so that did all of our movement, so we're going to just kind of regroup here. Very nice. Okay, that's one city that we're going to be able to add in. Of course, it's going to take a few turns, but that'll be really helpful. And then we finished some planar gates, which is really, really good. Let's take a quick peek here. Yeah, so there's a planar gate in Lilac, which means Shadow Stalkers in 2 turns. Let's start doing that. Very nice. When we've got them here in Hamlet as well, although it would be nice to improve our production capabilities in Hamlet such that maybe we're a little bit, we can produce them a little bit more quickly. In addition, I need to remember to throw on my, what's it called? Spiritual Freedom? Yeah, Spiritual Freedom. We need to throw Spiritual Freedom on here as well to buff our units that we're producing. And then, yeah, in Umboku, we're working on it. And we have our very first one that we've produced here in Edinburgh, which is great. And we have to watch out because there's still these roaming units, so I don't necessarily want to send it off all by its lonesome. Although if I do that, it'd be better to probably go this direction. It's kind of frustrating having this roaming unit still hanging around. But we're just going to keep doing the exact same thing. We're just going to keep pumping out Shadow Stalkers. And it's nice because this Shadow Stalker has Meditate as well, which is, you know, quite useful. So that's going to be helpful. I suppose what we could also do is build a stack of units here and start clearing out the Lost City and the Forbidden Sanctum. That's another option for us as well. So I'll have to think about what I want to do with this Shadow Stalker. I think one thing I might do, though, is just move the unit off the stack. Just so that we have it there and it kind of is a reminder to do something and not just let it sit there forever. Meanwhile, we now have... We have this stack of support units plus the spider, which is getting close to evolving. So, got to kind of figure out... Ooh, and look at this. You know what? Let's do this. There we go. And then we can continue kind of exploring a little bit. Yeah, oh, that's way too strong for us. But let's see if there's anything else further north here. Ooh, and there we go. That's a little more our speed, the Crystal Tree. Yeah, let's do that battle if we can. We're going to have to be careful because those two support units could really kind of get us if we're not careful. Thankfully, the Phantasm Warriors are going to be susceptible to a lot of our magic attacks, which is great. Now, our Spider Baby is going to be the beneficiary of a Nourishing Meal. And I think we're also going to use our Guarded by Flames on it as well. And it'll sort of be our melee fighter unit. We also have our Human Priest with Bestow Iron Heart. I could throw that on as well, but I might actually save this in case we need healing on a particular unit. Alright, so we'll start kind of rotating around here just a touch. Again, I have to be somewhat careful, especially with the Blight Doctor, who's really got low health. Yeah, we'll just kind of try to entice them. Again, I really want to draw them into attacking me. That would be the sort of the ideal situation. We've got a High Elf Apprentice and a Frostling Apprentice. Okay. All right, well, here we go. We're going to use our Storm Sister to kind of start things off. Keep our Priest kind of here as well. And then, yeah, our Forge Priest can kind of walk over, as can our Brew Brother. We'll bring the Blight Doctor back that way. Now, let's see. They're probably going to start attacking. Yeah, there they go. Okay. Not the greatest situation to be in. Attack. And then... You know what? We'll attack again. There we go. And that's going to allow us to hopefully maybe even get the kill here. Let's see. Excellent. Okay, we got the kill on that one. Spider Baby's actually not in the greatest condition, so we're going to have to be kind of careful. I'm almost tempted to maybe like try and pull back a little bit. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. We'll draw back just a touch here. And then let's see. We're going to take some range damage. That's kind of unavoidable at this point. Yeah, there it is. Okay, not too bad. Ouch, some damage there, which wasn't fun, but again, we should be able to handle it. So now, I think with all of our units, we should be able to put the hurt on these Phantasm Warriors pretty easily. Alright, so let's do that. There we go. Big damage. And then we can probably get the kill here. Yep, excellent. And then our Priest should probably retreat and can heal the Spider Baby. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to send the Spider Baby in to try to web, I think. And you know what? We might even throw... Actually, I don't know if Weaken's going to be all that useful. We can move over and try to stun the Apprentice, which wouldn't be so bad. Oh, you know what? Okay, hang on. If we move up like this and weaken the Apprentice, now we have a 50% chance. Oh, and they resisted. That's kind of a shame. And then let's try for the web here. Okay, at least we got the web. Now, this unit's probably going to step off and then hit us, but we reduced their movement at least, so... Yeah, okay, we can handle that. Nothing too difficult there. All right, so now we're in a situation where our spider baby can pretty much just have at it and kill the apprentice. And then I think we should be able to put the work in over here as well. Step over with our Blight Doctor. We can get the kill here. Excellent. Fantastic. So there's a crystal tree dealt with. Blessed Totem of Health. This is just a jewel item that provides straight up extra hit points for a hero and regeneration, of course. Now, this is one that, again, with Beneaths would be useful, but I think Beneaths already has something like that. I'm kind of tempted to sell it, but because I have Goblin Heroes, I might actually take this one. I'm trying to remember if it's... Again, this might be a bad decision, but we're going to jump back over and take a look at all my heroes. Okay, Beneaths actually does not have that. And you know what? Might be better to get rid of this, you know, Melody of Oblivious Harmony and replace it with the extra health. Well, let's just jump over here. Alternatively, we could give it to Gnulsa to improve her hit points. Nero, that would actually alleviate some of Nero's issues. Again, because Nero is kind of, you know, doesn't have the most health. So, actually, you know what? I'm glad I took that. There's a lot of areas it could go to. For Beneaths, I think what we'll do is we'll actually send this morale book to somebody else, and we'll send the jewel to her. There it is. Okay, we're going to send that over to Beneaths. Perfect. And we're going to head back over. Where's Beneaths? Right here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to send the morale book to somebody else, but we'll wait a few turns until this gets a bit closer, and then I think we'll do that. That way we're still getting the benefit of the morale boost, at least. Now, we have some Galleons here that can continue to do some work. I guess we might as well head up and take on these baby Kraken, because we can. So, let's go get that done. Closely matched, it's saying. I kind of disagree. Although I do have to be careful. And of course, yeah, they're going to force me to make them sort of come out to play. So we'll do that. There's one cannon shot. And ideally, I'd like for them to line up. That would be the... Wasn't that interesting? They're not going to come fight us even after that cannon shot. What if we do it again? Alright, there we go. That's what I was after. Kind of funny that it's immolated while it's in the water. I think that's a little bit silly. Oh, nice. And we've got them lined up here. That's perfect. What we're going to do is we're going to do this. Blast there for some big damage. And then we're going to step up slightly here. First things first, we're going to move this Galleon back. And then we're going to do cannon shot right here for some big damage. Fantastic. Okay. Now we've just got the one baby Kraken left, and it's put itself in a position where we can just blast it to pieces here. There we go. And then we can get the kill with our ram attacks. There's one, and there's two. Perfect. And that should give us a little bit of extra gold or something like that, I think. Ooh, a Sun Disc and a Frostling Ice Pick. Sun Disc is a pretty devastating attack, actually, for a hero. The Ice Pick is kind of well, it's not useless, but it's not really that good for me. Sun Disc, though, that's pretty strong. Although, is it worth 200 gold? I mean, again, I could sell that and be back over the 1,000. I think I'm going to sell it. I mean, the Sun Disc is powerful, but I actually think I'm just going to sell that one off. Oh, and here we've got another spawning structure. We're going to have to deal with that. But I don't think with our current hit point situation, we're going to be strong enough to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over and fight these mermaids to regain my movement points here. And then I'm going to retreat back the way I came to try to meet up with a builder or something that can heal me. Because these machines are in rough shape, as you can clearly see. So we're going to retreat back. Cannon shot. Same story. There we go. And then we're going to wait for this mermaid to come swim over. Get kind of in range. There we go. So we're going to head over like this. I don't think... Oh, we are actually. Okay, we're going to step back one. There we go. And then I think... Okay, we can just get the kill. I was going to say I was going to retreat back, but we could also just get the kill with our ram. Okay, perfect. So now we should have our movement back, and we do. I suppose we could clear out this reef and then maybe kind of head back. We could go along here. Because what I'd ideally like to do is get away from these pirates, since we just aren't strong enough at the moment to really deal with them with our current hit point situation. Although this one we might actually be able to deal with. The succubi one over there. So let's deal with this situation first, however. Okay, oh yeah, and they're actually lined up for us. That's great. So we can do a blast like that. And another one. Excellent. Yeah, boy, these galleons are very, very useful. I'm quite glad that I built them. For this water map. Island map, I should say. Oh, and you know what? We have our galleons over here, and they could actually, again, if we could clear out this pirate's nest, that would really help out our city over here to stop it from being harassed. So, you know what we even could do is send our galleons over here and eventually create a builder in Scourld. I mean, we're working on the Siege Workshop. We could do a Master's Guild next and then pump out a builder, because right now, unfortunately, the builder would not have repair, as we don't have the Master's Guild. But we could then do a builder, throw it in with our galleons, and keep them in good shape. So you know what? Let's do that. We'll kind of head over this way. Yeah, there we go. And I mean, if this unit comes and attacks us, we'll be fine. And you know what? If they do, we can then head in and actually clear out the pirate's nest, probably. I think we'd be all right. So that worked out actually very, very well. Yeah, and we've got all these units that are threatening our cities, and we just need to be able to kind of clean them out so that we're not, you know, hiding from them. I'm tempted to try the battle with these units, but I just don't think they're strong enough, so it's not worth the risk. But I don't want to just keep this stack of units here. I want to build an army and start clearing out all the structures around the city and kind of developing the city more effectively. But yeah, so this set of galleons now has a builder with repair that's going to be able to keep them going. Let's just check all of the rest of our units here, because I think we've moved the majority of our stacks here. Just kind of panning around. Yeah, I think we're... Okay, this little guy can keep going. You know what we'll do is we'll dig in here. Just for the extra gold income, which is quite useful. There we go. Oh, and we still have our scout in the Shadow Realm, of course, so we might as well keep on trucking, see what we can find. Keep going. Oh, okay, and there's something we've already made peace with. That's that dragon dwelling. But we can keep heading over this way and see what else we can find. Maybe there's something in this kind of bottom corner of the Shadow Realm that we could potentially encounter. Now, as for Hamlet, what do we want to do with Hamlet? A Siege Workshop would be probably pretty useful. Because, again, we want to improve our production output such that we are... And you know what? Hamlet is already super cheerful, so I don't know if Iron Grip's really going to make a difference for them. But we're going to throw the Iron Grip on Beb Jun first anyway. But I think we'll do the Siege Workshop, and then perhaps... and then perhaps we'll do the... start working on Shadow Stalkers out of here, or Succubi. Actually, this might be a better city to do Succubi out of, because They don't quite have the production income. So in order to do a succubus in 2 turns, we would need 100. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge because the Siege Workshop is only going to get us an extra 10. Yeah, that's not really ideal. The city's not going to grow for 10 more turns. You know what? Maybe we'll just start doing a succubus now. And then what we'll do is we'll throw on, before that unit's produced, we'll make sure to throw on the Spiritual Freedom there. That's just going to be a good reminder for us. Okay, here's another one. Another little goblin vassal. Or potential vassal, I should say. Sure. Again, that is kind of expensive, but... And these ones are super far away, so to bring them in as a vassal would be insanely expensive. But might not be a bad idea. Alright, so that's going to do it for the turn. Head back up to the surface here. So I'm really glad that I got Kenton, which was, again, the former throne city of my teammate Larissa. My now deceased teammate Larissa. Let's see, is there anything else kind of wild and crazy going on? I mean, I fully expect Alarmian to start popping his head out of the ground here, out of this tunnel, and probably encounter us fairly soon. But again, we're going to be sending Beneaths down to deal with this city, so hopefully we can bring it into our control before Alarmian comes out of the underground and takes it. You can see here that it's currently neutral, so we might even just have to try and vassalize it if they're not going to be hostile to us. Alright, here's Alarmian's turn, so let's see what he does. And we're just kind of watching the domain of this city. Hopefully it doesn't turn blue. Because if it does, we're going to have a fight on our hands. Thankfully, we've got 2 stacks ready to go, but... Oh, and I kind of forgot to do something with that Shadow Stalker. That's alright, though. The one that I produced in Edinburgh. What I was actually hoping would happen is that those roaming units would actually come closer, and I'd be able to use this stack to go out and engage them. I mean, honestly, the Shadow Stalker could probably deal with these units without too much difficulty, especially if I throw a priest in with it, so maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I don't think we'd have really any trouble. The Shadow Stalkers are beastly. With all of their different resistances, and here we can take a look. So just to reiterate here, we've got 60% physical protection, 100% blight protection, and 100% frost protection. So very, very powerful. Obviously, you know, vulnerable to fire or spirit damage potentially, because no real protection, no weaknesses, mind you, to them, but no protection from them. So that's why you have to watch out if you're fighting a Dreadnought, for example, that's going to use flame tanks. The flame tanks are going to potentially make short work of your Shadow Stalkers because they really don't have any protection from that. Although I suppose pairing them with a Necromancer hero isn't the worst thing ever, because Necromancer heroes do have protection from light, which gives spirit and fire protection, so not the worst combo. Alright, it looks like Alarmian's turn passed without any real incident here. At least any incident that I could see. Should clarify. Oh, nice. Okay, that unit's come in. Oh, very good. Okay. So now next turn we can just... Or when our turn flips over, we can just kill these units off. Ooh, and our scout's coming under attack. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to run away from the Panther because it has pretty good movement. So we'll just let our scout die. But our scout did its job, at least. We were able to see what's going on down here. And we can start, you know, we decided that we're going to send Gnulsa down here, which I think was probably the right choice. Or at least was a good choice. Maybe not the right choice, but wasn't a bad choice. Alright, so we've had some items show up. For Nero, we had the Spear of Justice, which gives first strike, polearm, and +1 melee strength, so that's not terrible. And then we had Frostling Shield show up for Gnulsa, which we're just going to sell, I believe, for some gold. Yeah. Okay, so let's deal with our domain invasion here. So I'm actually going to use all my units for the battle, because why not? And then we will engage the battle with the Shadow Stalker here. And I believe that the spawning structure that created these units has been destroyed thanks to my my Galleons, so this shouldn't be a recurring issue. I hope. Alright, we're going to use our Priest to buff our Shadow Stalker. So now our Shadow Stalker is 100% Spirit Protection, 100% Frost, 100% Blight, and 60% Physical, along with a boost to Physical and Resistance there, so very, very strong. I think what we're actually going to do is just throw the Shadow Stalker in defense right there. And then I just have to make sure that my units aren't in any, you know, unnecessary risk here. So we're going to retreat back just a touch. And then what we'll do is we'll put our Goblin just to guard our Priest there a little bit. Oh, and I forgot about Sprint. Dang it. Yeah, that not my swiftest set of decision-making there, but that's all right. We can step in and hopefully get the kill on the flyer. Yep, there we go. Okay, now we've just got to deal with these two scouts. So I think what we'll do is we'll kill this scout with our half-breed. There we go. And then that should open us up to move in here and do this and get the kill. Yeah, very good. Okay, so we didn't lose anybody. But boy, I forgot about those little scout units, these guys, having sprint. And that almost cost me a priest, which would have been, you know, I mean, an unnecessary loss of a unit. So, yeah, I got to make sure I don't forget that. All right, we'll send these two units back just to hang out at the city. Meanwhile, this priest and this Shadow Stalker might be worth sending them off to go on some adventures. Although, we could actually, and you know what, I'm changing my mind here. We're going to assemble a group to go underground, because we've got some adventuring to do underground, and we can clear out some stuff around our undead city there, or dwelling, I should say, our Archon Revenant dwelling. So yeah, we're going to just start working on yet another Shadow Stalker, which will be able to join in with this group here. And then we're going to bring the half-breed along, because the half-breed does have tunneling, which is going to be advantageous for us. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to tell them to go underground eventually. That's going to be the game plan there, I think. We've had some alliance proposals. Let's check these out. It looks like they're all three, or, well, two of them anyway. We've had two from different dragon dwellings. So let's check them out here. Oh, 216 gold, that's nothing. Absolutely. And then another one, same thing. Absolutely. Well, look at that. Fantastic. Two more vassals. We're really kind of solidifying a decent grip here on the Shadow Realm, which I'm quite happy about. Some very powerful dwellings. Grab some extra gold as well. Fantastic. Okay. Be nice to get rid of this spawning structure, eventually a warband camp right next to our Archons there. And those are our living Archons. Important to remember. We're working on Tavros, Builder's Hall there, developing the city. So now, here's the big event. We're going to send Nero down to this tomb, and let's see if we can use our... No, oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted, a Deathbringer. So now, here's going to be the tricky part. We need to kill the Deathbringer, and then use Greater Reanimate Undead on the Deathbringer to bring it back as a unit under our control. We could also do that to a Reanimator, but I really want the Deathbringer, because the Deathbringer also has Inflict Ghoul Curse, which we could actually send this to one of our other Necromancer stacks to really devastating effect. So, all right, here we go. Let's do it. The best part is the Deathbringer is not dedicated to evil, because it is a Necromancer class unit and not just an undead unit. So we're going to actually hopefully be able to recruit the unit here, that would be fantastic. So what we're going to do with Nero is we're going to retreat back. We're going to heal our cadaver. And what I ideally want is for the Deathbringer to attack my cavalry or my cadaver. So we're going to kind of do this. And then I'm going to retreat my wyverns back, especially the gold wyvern, because it's in the roughest of shapes there. And then we're going to just kind of hang out like this. Okay. Ouch. So yeah, the gold wyvern's taking a bit of punishment. Okay, perfect. So the Deathbringer has now committed itself. And we should be able to inflict some fairly reasonable punishment here. We could do a throw chicken. It's actually not bad. Yeah, and we can use our Pony Rider here to full effect. The big deal with the Deathbringer, though, is that we cannot flank the Deathbringer. That's the important thing to remember. But we can use up some of its attacks. Although, ooh, I think it has Tireless. Yeah, it does. No action points are spent on retaliation or attacks of opportunity, so that's not really going to benefit us. But we can at least whittle down its health a little bit. And you know what? We could probably get a charge going. Yeah, that's great. You know what? Okay, before we do that... Actually, you know what? Let's do it. Okay, there we go. Now, with our Fire Wyvern, we do have to be careful because we obviously don't want any of our Wyverns dying as they are not undead. And so we cannot bring them back if they go down. That's the important consideration. Now, Nero can throw the chicken and possibly kill the Deathbringer. I mean, the odds aren't great. We need to roll a 14, 15, or 16 out of a 10 to 16 range. So that's not really ideal, but we could also then finish up with the Frost Wyvern if need be. It does kind of put our Frost Wyvern in some risk, but I think we'll be okay. And I mean, if, you know, I ended up... Nice, and we got the kill. Okay. Now we just have to park a unit on the Deathbringer because we don't want a cadaver being made there. So we're going to bring the Frost Wyvern over like this, have it sit right there. We're actually going to move our gold wyvern in. Nice, and we got the kill outright. That's phenomenal. Okay, we're going to keep our wyvern in defense mode just so that we don't have to worry about... Again, I don't want the Reanimator using Ray's corpse on the corpse of the Deathbringer. That's the big thing I want to avoid happening. Now, with the Fire Wyvern, we could probably get the kill on the Reanimator here. Pretty reasonable odds of actually getting the kill. The only problem is that might put me in a position where then the ward can really kind of mess me up. Yeah, let's do it. Ooh, nice. Okay, we got the kill. And I think we'll be fine. Oh, yeah, we're okay. Okay, excellent. Yeah, this battle is going extremely well for us here. So now what we're going to do, we're going to use our Frost Wyvern like this. Get the kill on the ward. And then we're going to step up, Greater Reanimate Undead, and boom, we have ourselves an Orc Deathbringer. Oh, that is fantastic. All right, and then we're going to send in our Pony Rider here just to go and try and deal with those Lost Souls. We could eat a corpse here. Actually, you know what? This is great. We can eat the corpse of the Warg and prevent it from being reanimated as an undead unit. And we can even use Nero to try to potentially grab these Lost Souls. You know what? Let's actually step back one. There we go. Because we can try Control Undead. And you know what? We are going to try that. So we've already used our Heal Undead, so let's use our Control Undead. 70%. Oh, and it didn't work, but we just got the kill. That's fine. But yeah, most importantly, we got ourselves that Deathbringer. Ooh, boy, I'm excited about that. Okay, now we've got some boots here. Ashlandic, Wastelander, Greaves. Let's see. Ooh, these are pretty good. 40% fire protection, +2 defense, and Wasteland Concealment. Unit is invisible on Barrens on the strategic map. So the Wasteland Concealment, less important, but the fire protection and defense, that's a big deal. So we're going to take those. And you know what? These might be really good for Nero because he is undead. So, I mean, he does have, you know, zero, like he's breaking even on fire because of the protection from light. But You know, and Pounce isn't so bad for him because with Inflict Ghoul Curse, it gives him a way to try to inflict the curse but still end up in defense mode. So maybe I'll actually keep the Pounce with him. Let's take a look, though, if there's any other heroes. I mean, Zhang could use it. Zhang doesn't have anything good for footwear. Beniefs doesn't have anything either. That would give Beniefs 60%, which is pretty incredible. 60% fire protection. So Beniefs would have 60% resistance to Blight, Frost, Fire, and Spirit if we gave those boots to Beniefs. Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking that's probably a decent plan if we give these to Beniefs. You know what? Let's do that. All right, let's jump back to the surface here. We'll head over to Beniefs real quick. And we're going to equip those when they get there. Yeah, there we go. All right, now let's go back to Nero, and we'll do his upgrade because he did actually level up in that battle. So again, we want to grab Undying, which I believe costs 10 or 11 points. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember it being pretty expensive because it's a pretty, you know, it's a pretty powerful upgrade, I guess I would say. So I think we will just save our points for that. Even though Inflict Despair would be nice, I do want Undying, so I'm going to save the upgrade for that. Save the points, I should say. So now, obviously, we want to add this unit into the stack, and we'll probably take one of our Wyverns out of the stack and send it off to go join somebody else. But what we'll do in the meantime is we'll just kind of start working our way over towards... And actually, there's another tomb over here. So what we'll do is we'll head over here and try and clear out this structure, and then we'll also raid this tomb and see if we can... oh, you know what? We can open our borders here with this one for only 92 gold. Let's do that. There's an opportunity for another vassal in a few turns. That would be great. We have all these dragon vassals in the Shadow Realm here. This is fantastic. But yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll head over, clear this out, raid this tomb, and try to get some additional undead. And then we might even turn around and... Ooh, and you know what? We could think about doing the Forbidden Sanctum on our way through, but we'll have to see. And then once we're really powerful, it'd be great to come and clear this out as well. And try for that Elder Bone Dragon, which would be amazing. Okay, so that more or less takes care of the Shadow Realm. I actually want to keep... I want to keep the Deathbringer with Nero, even though I could keep moving a little bit further. Just because I don't want that unit being killed off by anything. I don't want to leave it by itself, effectively, is what I'm saying. Alright, our scout here. We don't really need the mana crystals right now. We're kind of maxed out. But we could either head down this way or head over here. I think we'll actually go down over here. Oh, bad move. Bad move. We ran into some units. We're going to try and run away, but I just don't think it's going to matter. Yeah, that's really a shame. We're going to probably lose this scout now. Anything else kind of crazy going on? Lots of join offers again. Himsa Sil does have a quest available. Let's hear it. They need some other Naga killed, which would give us Naga Guardian and the Wand of the Mage, which is a pretty decent ranged item there for a hero. But we don't have anybody in the area, so I'm going to decline. Well, we do, but they're not really powerful enough, so I'm going to just close the quest offer, I think. So we could theoretically send an army from here over eventually, but I just don't think this is going to be strong enough just yet, so I think we will hold off on that one. Now, as for what to do here, you know what? This is actually a city that could benefit from Iron Grip as well. So we could either do it for Beb Jun, which is underground here, because again, we want to improve our production. Yeah, we could do it here, or we could do it for the elves up above. I think we'll do it for the elves because... There we go. So yeah, now we have 75. That's amazing. That's going to speed up our production of a lot of different things. We could produce a Scoundrel. We could do an Assassin or a Bard. Alternatively, in 3 turns, we could have a Planar Gate, which would be amazing. So you know what? Let's do that. We'll start working on the Planar Gate. And then eventually we can have Shadow Stalkers out of there too, which would be great. Down to Beb Jun now. Maybe we'll just keep developing the city here. Siege Workshop. Also, yeah, Rogue's Palace wouldn't be bad eventually, but let's do a Siege Workshop, just get the production going. Although we do have to be careful because obviously we want to kill off those undead. It's just unfortunate because the units we have available really aren't particularly good against the undead. We're kind of heavily reliant on blight damage as goblins and Goblin Rogue on top of that. So, yeah, I think we'll just work on improving our production capability. Let's head over to Ding. Okay, this is our new Goblin Outpost. This one we can start working on here pretty aggressively. Why don't we do... City's going to grow pretty rapidly, which is great for us. We could do a stone wall just to bring in this gold mine a little bit faster. Alternatively, we could do the Siege Workshop. You know what? Let's do the Siege Workshop. That's going to improve our production. And then when the city grows, hopefully we'll be in really good shape. All right, for Umboku, the question is Shadow Stalkers or Galleons? I'm thinking probably Shadow Stalkers at this point. I'm going to send this one up, I think, to join in with this stack here. We can start kind of putting some work in. Alternatively, I could send this one over to join with, like, Volanara up there. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. We'll grab this. And then we're just going to keep moving this way. I do have to be kind of careful sending them on their own because obviously that's a risk. We also have to watch out because, as you can see, there's a tunnel that leads to the underground and we haven't explored it all in there. So, might want to... You know what? We could even send this tiger over to do that, perhaps. Because I don't think we really need a guard here anymore. We've cleared out the pirate's nest around there, so... I'm less concerned about it at the moment. Now what we'll do with our galleons is we'll head up this way. So we're going to clear out this. I don't... Hang on a second. I'm going to just abort real quick. Yeah, this is an oyster reef. I was just making sure it wasn't the one that restores our movement, because if it was, I would want to bring everybody into the battle. But instead, I'll just use one of my galleons to save a little bit of movement. Obviously, we want the builder to be as uninvolved as possible, but the one nice thing is we can do a repair machine here just to give ourselves a little bit of an edge. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack the Lost Mariner because the Lost Mariner does have a ranged attack. There we go. And then we can blast the mermaid. Perfect. Alright, now the mermaid is close enough that we can proceed to get our kill with our combo of different attacks here. Do a ram. Very nice. Oh, and you know what? I think I could have used that repair again on the builder. That was a missed opportunity. Because repair machine, you can keep using it every turn. It doesn't have a cooldown. So that was a missed opportunity to do a little bit more healing. But, thankfully, we're going to be able to do another battle right here for this Raging Maelstrom. So let's engage that right here. Now this one's going to be a little bit trickier because obviously... Oh, okay, they're going to come at us this time, though. That does make our life a little easier. Now, these ones, yeah, these ones are in a line, so that's where we're going to concentrate our attack. So we're going to move our builder back. There's one big cannon blast. It's two big cannon blasts. And then we'll do a third just to finish this one off. And then we will do a heal here. Very nice. Alright, now between us, I think we can just ram this little guy to death. Alternatively, we could actually retreat outside of his attack range and use it as an opportunity to do some more healing. Which, you know, it's not the worst idea. Yeah, I like that. I really like that plan. So we're going to go like this. We're going to go over here. And like this. Yep, and we're outside of the attack range. We're just fine. There we go. Basically just another kind of free turn to heal, which is great. And it reloaded our cannons, so we can now get the kill with our cannon shots. There's one. Whoops. That was a misclick. Well, we'll just get the kill with the ram instead. Alright. Hunter Spider Egg and the Blighted Goblin Hand Scythe. I think we'll just sell this. Sell that for gold. I mean, the Spider Egg wouldn't be bad, but I don't really want to wait all the time for it to eventually hatch. And then, yeah, we'll keep moving up this way, I think. Yeah, we've done a pretty good job clearing out aquatic structures around there anyway. Now, what else do we have going on? Lilac's working on Shadow Stalker. We've got our fledgling stack over there. Now, in terms of what to do with spell casting, I think we'll do a Spiritual Freedom. Actually, you know what? We'll do an Iron Grip, and then we'll do a Spiritual Freedom after that, because we want to have Spiritual Freedom on Hamlet before it's able to produce that Succubus, if at all possible. Yeah, that's the game plan there. Okay, let's jump around and look at maybe our production. Actually, hang on. Before I do that, Beneaths is able to move, so let's send Beneaths in here. Oh boy. Now, we could try this Forbidden Sanctum. Let's negotiate. Okay, they want us to pay. That's fine. So this is going to be a vassal shortly, I think. But in the meantime, we could try this Forbidden Sanctum. Let's at least take a look at what's inside and just see how bad it is. Ooh, okay. We've got a Shrine of Smiting, which is going to be very tough to deal with. That's a lot of damage. It is a machine unit. It does have fire weakness. And then we've got some Crusaders who are pretty tanky melee units. They have a shield, and of course the Dwarven one is even tankier because it's a dwarf. They're armored. Does have defensive strike, which is tough to deal with. And a couple of martyr units here. What do we got? You know, I'm not entirely confident that we can clear this one as we currently stand. You know, I suppose what we could do... Ooh, you know what? Maybe we clear out the Wicked Flames of Growth here, and that'll give us Flame Spit, which would help us out against the Shrine of Smiting. So, yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll send the whole stack down, and we'll clear this structure out. Okay. Alright, so the chariot needs to be dealt with. So first things first, let's do this and try for a stun, maybe. Oh, and we got it. That's excellent. Alright. That's pretty huge for us. We can step up with our crossbowmen and do some work. And then... you know what we'll do is we'll put Guardian Flame on the Eagle Rider. And then what we're going to do is we'll actually send our Eagle Rider straight up and get the kill. Excellent. Our Slither can walk up as well. Our Warg Rider can step up. So I expect our Eagle Rider is going to take some punishment. Oh, we got lucky. Okay, going after the Naga, that's fine because it has regrowth, so no real worries there. We'll attack the Cheetah for some big damage. And the same with our Forge Priest. Nice level up for the Forge Priest as well. And then I don't think Beneaths has any kind of seduction or any abilities, so we'll just keep putting work in here. Get some experience and a nice level up there for Beneaths, which is great. Yeah, that's good to see. So now we have the buff from that structure, and it might actually be worth trying the Forbidden Sanctum now. And if we upgrade our hero, is there anything we could do that would just make us that much kind of more deadly? We've got a pretty good amount of casting points. Now, this is a situation eventually where we could give Beneaths floating and then have Beneaths lead a stack of Shadow Stalkers, which would be very, very dangerous. I don't know if Men Magical Being... I don't think that would work on Shadow Stalkers because, unfortunately, even though they are elemental units, they are not summoned, they are produced. So I don't think that would help heal Shadow Stalkers. But the point being that Beniefs would eventually be a great leader for that. Yeah, Dragon Slayer's not really going to help us in this upcoming battle. Just looking to see if there's anything I could kind of do to increase my odds of success. Strong Will wouldn't be bad, as that would give us spirit protection, which in combination with the fire protection from that shrine, Beniefs was basically going to be almost completely immune to fire, and then we'll be immune to spirit, but we're already quite resistant to spirit, so I think we'll be fine. Let's see, what kind of spells do we have here? So we have Harmonizing Energy and Sphere of Protection. Giving ourselves 5 extra casting points isn't going to allow us to cast either of these twice, because it's only going to give us 35. So we go back here. You know what? This might be a good place to actually leave the episode. So I'm gonna open this up for you guys. I'm gonna ask you for some feedback and some assistance. First of all, with Beniefs getting to level 8, what upgrade would you recommend at this stage for her? And then on top of that, do you think I should then go and try this Forbidden Sanctum, especially now that I have the fire protection, which should at least provide me with a little bit of cover from the, you can see here, full fire protection on the Naga now, which would provide me some coverage from the Shrine of Smiting, which does do fire damage and spirit damage. So let me know what you guys think there. What upgrade should I give Beniefs? And then what about the Forbidden Sanctum, yes or no? So yeah, I think this is a good place to end it. Let's zoom out. And we will save this one as episode 14. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.